Welcome to Reddit Echoes, where real-life stories echo like whispers from the darkest corners of the human heart. Today we're diving into two stories that sound too outrageous to be true, but trust me, they are. In the first one, a kind-hearted man pays off his girlfriend's crushing student loan debt. You'd think love would be enough, right? But what does he get in return? A demand to pay off her sister's loans, too. The way he responds, oh, it's satisfying. Very satisfying. And the second story, it's a literal nightmare draped in white satin. A woman just days away from her wedding opens up her untouched gown, only to find it stained by something no one should ever touch, except maybe the man she was about to marry. But the truth that follows will make you ask, why do the worst people always wear the mask of family? These are stories that don't need embellishment, don't need extra drama, because the truth alone is already horrifying, already controversial, already too real. So take a deep breath, settle in, and prepare yourself. Because what you're about to hear might make you furious, might make you satisfied, and might even leave you speechless. This is True Reddit Stories, and I'm here to tell you the things most people try to ignore. Story 1. I paid off my girlfriend's debt. Then she asked me to pay her sister's too, and so I gave them both the most expensive lesson of their lives. I'm a 28-year-old man, and this story is about money, character, and how fast people can flip on you faster than soggy rice paper. My name doesn't matter. Just call me the lucky guy, because that's what I was. I had just won a decent chunk of money and thought I could use it to help someone I loved. But love and financial awareness are two very, very different things. I won $80,000 and thought I'd do something good with it. About 3 months ago, I got incredibly lucky and won close to $80,000 from a sports bet. I'm not a gambling addict or anything. It was a small bet that just happened to align perfectly. You know, the kind, sweat dripping down your back thinking it's all lost. Then boom, the universe says, here you go. I'm not the reckless type. I kept working my regular job, kept saving. That $80K wasn't going to change my life forever, but it sure could change someone's situation. My girlfriend, let's call her M, had been with me for nearly 2 years. She was 26, beautiful, driven, and drowning in $35,000 of student loan debt. I knew she was struggling. She'd cried before when her loan applications got rejected, even put her dream of continuing school on hold because of rising interest rates. I felt for her, and I truly believed that helping the person I loved conquer her financial burden was the right thing to do. So I did something not many men would dare to do. I paid it all off. $35,000. One-time payment. No strings attached, no contract, no expectations. M cried like a child, told me I was her guardian angel, that no one's ever done something like this for me. She hugged me, sent me thank you messages for weeks. And me? I was foolish enough to believe this was pure love. Then her tone changed, and she asked for something insane. About 3 weeks later during dinner, M casually asked, "So, how much do you have left from that bet again?" I smiled. Around 40 grand. You already know that. Yeah, I was just thinking, my little sister's in debt too. Her student loans are like $42,000. I nearly choked on my steak. I laughed nervously. What do you mean? Well, you helped me and she's my sister. Why not help her too? Think of it as a family package deal. I didn't know what to say. I thought she was joking. I laughed. She didn't laugh back. Her eyes were dead serious, like she was negotiating a mortgage. I asked again, thinking this was some kind of test, a compassion test or something. But nope. She was dead serious. From sister to joint bailout, and a hard ultimatum. Within the next week, M started leveling up her pressure tactics from subtle suggestions to full-blown family values, lectures. You have so much money it wouldn't hurt you to help her. Family means helping each other, not picking favorites. If you truly love me, you should love the people I love. By paying mine but not hers, aren't you saying we're not equal as sisters? That's when I realized this wasn't love anymore. This was a financial negotiation wrapped in tissue paper labeled emotion. So I made myself clear I helped you because I love you. I have no obligation to your sister. This is my money, not a family rescue fund. Her reaction. She exploded. She called me selfish, greedy, heartless. Then, like a seasoned villain in a soap opera, M threw down the ultimatum. If you don't help her, then I need to seriously reconsider this relationship. I looked at her. She didn't take it back. No hesitation, no guilt, nothing. So I broke up with her, right then and there. Thought that was the end. Nope. The real insanity was just getting started. After that, I got bombarded with calls and texts. Over 50 missed calls. Messages from my ex, her mom, and even her little sister, someone I'd barely met 3 times. The texts ranged from jerk to traitor coward and ungrateful lottery leech. Then M's mom called me. You don't get it, do you? You're my daughter's chance to finally have a future. I hung up, smirked. What did Reddit say? They told me to get my money back. I posted the whole story on Reddit on a throwaway account asking for advice. The response, A, full-blown, not the a-hole storm. One commenter wrote, you can reverse student loan payments within a certain window if you have a valid reason. I looked it up. It was true. I called the loan servicer, explained everything, sent over documentation. And guess what? I got my $35,000 back. The result, a full-blown Category 5 drama hurricane. M found out after she received an email saying her loan was unpaid again. She called me at midnight screaming into my voicemail, you stole from me, you ruined my future. Her family said they were taking me to court, still waiting on that lawsuit. Then her sister showed up at my place crying and shouting, you destroyed our plan. You have no heart. I simply said, I'm not a bank. And I'm definitely not the stand-in parent responsible for teaching you how to be accountable. A satisfying ending and a brutally valuable lesson. A week later, I took $10,000 and set up an anonymous scholarship for a struggling student at a local public university. No one knows it was from me except M. I sent her one message: I helped someone who truly needed it and deserved it. Thank you for opening my eyes. No reply. Just a Facebook status update from her: never help anyone if your kindness comes with conditions. I laughed. My kindness didn't come with conditions. It came with boundaries. Lesson learned. Helping someone doesn't mean letting them drag their whole family into your wallet. A good partner will appreciate what you do not demand more. A bad one will turn your kindness into a business plan. Money doesn't change people, it reveals who they truly are. And me, I still have my money. I still have my peace. And I lost a relationship. That should have ended long before I ever wrote that $35,000 check. Story 2. I found semen on my wedding dress, and I'm not even sure whose it is. I never thought I'd tell this story, not publicly, not on the internet, and definitely not in front of hundreds of thousands of strangers. But sometimes you just need to get something off your chest, because if you don't, it might drive you insane. I'm a 27-year-old woman. I was about to get married. Or, I was about to. And if that sounds like the beginning of a normal story, let me make something crystal clear. I found semen on my wedding dress. A dress I'd never even worn. And it had just been delivered to our house. And no, I'm not joking. I wish I was joking. It all started like a perfect day. It was a Sunday. I was out Christmas shopping with my younger sister. She's 18, more cookie than human, and has a habit of giving gifts before the actual holiday even arrives. I left my fiancé, James, 26, works in healthcare, at home. His schedule is hectic, 4 12-hour shifts, followed by 4 days off. That day was one of his days off. Coincidentally, his younger brother, Dan, 21, was visiting. Nothing unusual. James said they were just gonna hang out, play games, eat catch-up. I thought, cool. Brothers bonding is healthy. I was never super close with Dan. but he was polite, fairly handsome, and kind of the golden boy of the town, plays football for the local team. While I was out, James texted me, "Ray just dropped off your dress." I checked, still in the garment bag. "Looks amazing. Ray is my uncle. He's a tailor and helped alter the dress to fit me perfectly. I bought it for just $215 during a crazy sale. Simple strapless corset gown, pure white. Classic and sweet. I thought it was a perfect day." I finished shopping, ate cookies, chatted with my sister all afternoon. Then I came home. And then I saw it. I walked into the room and Dan immediately stood up and left. Just walked out. James looked slightly flushed, not drunk, just a little buzzed from a few beers. He smiled and said, "You ready to be a bride?" I smiled back. I opened the garment bag. I was planning to try it on for the first time. And then I saw the stain. Right on the chest area, a faint, whitish mark. Dry. Crusted lightly over the lace. A splatter. The kind of stain I've seen enough times in my life to know exactly what it was. I froze. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stared at it like it was an alien organism defiling the most sacred thing I owned. The investigation photoshopped suspicion and a conversation I never wanted to have. I'm a concept artist. I know Photoshop like the back of my hand. So I pulled up the photo James had sent me when the dress was delivered. I boosted the contrast, adjusted. The shadows, looked at the texture. Conclusion. When it arrived, the dress was spotless. So, what the hell happened? I didn't tell anyone. I sat in silence that night, turning one single thought over in my head. What the actual hell happened to my dress? I even wrote out a script, a fake conversation in my head to confront James. Of course, when the time came, I forgot every word. But I still asked. "So, what did you think of the dress? Beautiful. I can't wait to see you in it." Then I asked, "Did Dan see the dress last night?" James paused, then said, "Yeah. While I was ordering food, he went into the room and peeked at it. I thought it was harmless." I pulled out the dress, showed James the stain, and he lost it. I had never seen him that angry. His face turned red, voice like a knife. He started ranting about Dan, things I had never heard before. How Dan had always seen women as toys, some sketchy incidents. Even how Dan had once said disgusting things about me during a drunk night out. The truth comes out. And I wish I didn't know. The next day, James confronted Dan. I wasn't there. I stayed at my parents' place, but I caught parts of it on the doorbell camera. James asked, "So, what did you think of the dress?" And Dan replied with something that made me physically gag. "She's not even sure she wants to marry you. Someone better could come along." Then James brought up the stain, and Dan laughed, loud, giddy. It was just a test. If she cries over a dress, that means she's shallow. A test. Dan called ejaculating on my wedding dress a test of character. The family implodes, and me, I fall apart. My future mother-in-law, who had once worshipped Dan, broke down when she saw the footage. She apologized to me over and over. She used to be a wedding dress seamstress, and now she decided she'd make me a brand new one from scratch. My future father-in-law, a man who hates technology so much he still uses a landline, sent me his first ever text message. "You're my real daughter, not him." Dan got kicked out of the house, removed from the wedding, blocked from everyone's phones, and unless he gets therapy and apologizes, he's no longer considered part of the family. The wedding still happened, but on our terms. James and I decided no big wedding. We got married at City Hall, only close family. I wore the new dress made by my mother-in-law and my sister, a flower crown instead of a veil. No church, no traditions, but every part of it was genuine. A conclusion. That isn't over yet. 2 nights later, Dan peed in our front yard, caught on camera. I saved the footage. Cops will be called if he comes back. I also know he's still messaging at least 4 other girls. I'm planning to message them. I don't know what I'll say, but I won't let anyone else go through this sick character test like I did. Final thoughts, and a haunting question. I once saw Dan as a brother. I once thought how great it is to have more siblings through marriage. I once thought a wedding dress was sacred. Now I no longer have that dress, but I have James, a man who chose me over blood. I have a new family, not perfect, but real. And Dan marked his territory on my dress like some diseased dog who thinks he's an alpha. Now he has nothing. No family, no friends, no reputation. Closing words to the viewer. Sometimes the person most worth trusting is the one quietly protecting you from the darkness you never even knew existed in your own family. And sometimes the stain on the dress is exactly what you need to see who truly loves you and who only wanted to possess you like a trophy. Thank you for listening to today's stories. We've just crossed the fragile lines between love and manipulation, between trust and betrayal, between someone who gives selflessly and those who only know how to take. Maybe after the first story, you'll think twice before opening your wallet for your partner's family. And after the second, you'll realize that safety and respect within a family aren't guarantees. They're things we have to choose, protect, and sometimes even fight for. If you've ever experienced something similar, or if you have a story that needs to be heard, don't hesitate to share it in the comments. Reddit Echoes is always here to listen. And if today's stories made you think, if they stirred something in you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Because I'll be back with more truths, sometimes funny, sometimes painful, but always a raw reflection of the world we live in. I'm narrator's name, and this is Reddit Echoes. See you in the next video.